So the Supreme Court has ordered that no tree felling should happen in the Kancha Gachibowli land parcel that the government of Telangana wanted to turn into an IT park. I have with me Uday Krishna of Water Foundation, which went to the Telangana High Court, and you actually got the first say on the tree felling activity in that place. What happens next?
Yeah, we got a stay yesterday, but unfortunately it was not on the order hard copy. So there was a lot of confusion, and then I believe the work continued even after the stay order. So a lot of trees have been removed, and we are now hoping that with the Supreme Court intervening, that things will stop. The damage will at least stop from where it is right now.
You've been someone who's been trying to save old trees for the longest time, the green cover. And yet something like this happened right before our very eyes, so to speak. I mean, of course, no one was allowed in that area and no one could stop it. I mean, from the footage that we seem to see, huge areas have actually got denuded.
Massive areas. I mean, that too, if you see the number of equipment that has been deployed, it's not right. It's not, we as citizens are trying to fight it very fairly with the court. The court has also had a lot of trust in the government, given them 10 days to come back with their replies. But within this 10 days, if the government does something like this, it's not right. It's totally breach of trust. I mean, when citizens want to follow law, government should also be, what will happen? The worst case is the layout might not happen. But then we're going to have a beautiful park for the rest of, the city forever. And
What is your understanding of what is a kind of vegetation? Because there has been this dispute, forest, but it's not declared as a forest land, is what the government says.
see, going by the Supreme Court recent orders, I don't remember off my head the numbers. If a particular area resembles or it's like a forest, it's like a deemed forest. And it was actually the role of a committee that the Supreme Court asked the state government to, put in place to go through and find out such areas across the state and submit a report. That was not done. Or what report was submitted was very, very, it really didn't match the numbers on the ground, so they had to withdraw it. So had a report been submitted, this land 100% would have been declared as a deemed forest. Whoever the ownership could be, see, ownership again is one very big area that the fight is going on. We feel it is good thing that the ownership is with the government, because we don't have to go buy a private land and then convert to a park. Government land can be converted without having to worry at all, if the intention was there.
Is this really precious land as is being made out to be in terms of biodiversity? They're calling it a hotspot. Uh, there is talk of hundreds of species of different varieties that were actually residing, and that was the habitat for them.
See, Uma, this land, the what is being told is probably just half, 50% of what the value of that land is, in terms of the biodiversity that exists in that area. Forest doesn't mean having 50, 100 feet tall trees. Forest can also be shrubs. But what life it has been supporting from forever. I mean, we came much later, but the animals have been there from from time immemorial. I have spent a lot of time in the jungles. I know what kind of wildlife exists in what kind of area. You will be surprised how they survive in the worst conditions. And that area is a heaven. It had lakes, it had rock formations. See, rock formations basically you'll have a lot of monitor lizards, you'll have porcupines, you'll have turtles. Wildlife doesn't always mean tiger, lion, or the big thing. There's so much more under the ground. Insects. There's so much more. It's part of the evolution. It takes about 1 million years for that area to convert into a dense forest. But this is in the part of the evolution, and that area had a lot of wildlife. It can be even insects. It can be birds. It attracts a lot of migratory birds. There are deer. There are peacock. Deer, peacock can be anywhere. That's not a big thing. But monitor lizards. You have the star tortoise. You have the the other turtles, which are all on schedule 1. Rare things. But now the kind of work that's gone on last 3-4 days, they really lost their actual home, and it's they don't make noise, like unlike the peacock. The peacock made a lot of noise. What noise will a snake make? What noise will a sand boa make? What noise will a python make? And they all live there. Every rock python, they live in the rocks, not on trees.
What is the sequence of events as it happened? I know that over the weekend, of course, JCBs were brought in. That prior to that, was there warning that something like this is going to happen? You told us about the court order.
Yeah, we got to know about the plan. See, this land has been under legal issues from a long time. But as a citizen, somebody watching from outside, I see a government, I see a private party, a company fighting in the court for this land. And then there's the university right besides it. You don't have defined boundaries. They don't have, I believe, the documents for the land ownership. But it has been assigned to the university with some conditions. All that apart, you know, who owns the land, what fights went on, all that is secondary when compared to the Supreme Court order, which says if the land resembles like a forest, it has to be declared as a forest. This land not only resembled like a forest, it had animals. No, nobody can prove saying that the animals only stayed towards the university side. How can you say that? That's not possible. The animals were moving freely across the 400 acres till the bulldozers came in. And the cleanup was done in such a big hurry. If you go and see the place now, they won't let anyone go in there. Cops everywhere. What will happen to the turtles? Turtles can't run away. They would have definitely been killed. What will happen to the monitor lizards? They would have gone underground, but then the JCB is uprooting all the rocks. There's so much of stones they have just moved here and there. So lots and lots of damage has been done for the wildlife and for the wilderness in that area.
And these 4 days seems to have been quite a green murder, should I say, in that sense. But what do we save there now?
My foundation and me, we spent a lot of time in jungles. I can rebuild that area without any issues at all. At my own, at the foundation's cost. The government won't even have to help me in that. Nature is known to rebound. We have to just let it. Here, that's not the case. What happened in the last 4 days, we were watching it so helplessly. And they were desperately ensuring that nobody gets to record anything, nobody gets to take pictures, nobody can even come close. Now they're setting up a barricade. So what's going to happen in the open, at least was visible. Now with a barricade, nothing is going to be visible. That land can be rebuilt to what it was or even better, if the government allows us.
So a lot of political parties or unions that are backed by political parties were making all that noise, which is also required in a democracy. But what I'm asking you is, how important is it to Hyderabad, to the climate of this region?
See, I think this land is much above the political parties or the university in today's situation. See, earlier it could have been different, but today Hyderabad is spread so much. If you look at the aerial shots of that area, that is the only green spot in that area. We have KBR surviving very difficult now. They're going to build flyovers around this park too. But this still proves as a carbon sink for this entire area. That is a carbon sink for that entire area. So if they remove it, it's not rocket science. We are watching it everywhere, all around. Temperatures going up. The water table is already gone. We don't have water in the ground today. All that is happening for a reason, because we are removing all the the greenery. So that area will serve as a very, very important carbon sink for that the entire Gachibowli area forever, if it is left alone.
Thank you so much. So that is the voice of Uday Krishna, someone who we have known to be someone who speaks for the trees, speaks for the conservation of trees and the importance that it has for not just the ecology of today but future generations as well. In Hyderabad, with camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.